Welcome back to our college admissions series. In today's video, we'll talk about supplemental essays, which are often rushed but are incredibly important in the college application process. While this personal statement offers a glimpse into your personality and experiences, supplemental essays provide colleges with additional insights into your fit for their institution, your passions, and your unique contributions to their community. Usually, students tend to spend more of their time in the summer and fall of senior year crafting the perfect personal statement and end up quickly writing answers to supplemental essay questions, making these essays less impactful compared to their personal statement. Taking ample time to write thoughtful supplemental essays can mean the difference between an acceptance and a rejection to your top schools. Since these questions are specific to each school you are applying to, college admissions officers are looking for good quality essays as they're indicative of an applicant's interest in their school. Supplemental essays come in all shapes and sizes, from why this college prompts to questions about your interests, experiences, and aspirations. Each essay is an opportunity to demonstrate your genuine interest in the school and to further showcase your personality, values, and goals. Whether you're struggling with how to approach these essays or looking for tips to make your responses stand out, we've got you covered. We'll explore the different categories of essays as well as provide concrete examples, case studies, and guiding questions to help you think through the commonly asked questions. We've categorized supplemental essays into 6 different groups. First, the Why Us essay. There's also the Why Major essay, the extracurricular essay, the community essay, the intellectual essay, and finally, the quirky and imaginative essay. Let's talk about the Why Us question first. The aim of this essay is to demonstrate why you are a great fit for that particular school using specific examples. As you think about writing your response to this question, research specific classes, programs, extracurriculars, and communities in that college that align with your passions and interests. Here are some example questions. Yale University asks, what is it about Yale that has led you to apply? An example from Tufts is, which aspects of the Tufts undergraduate experience prompted your application? In short, why Tufts? These are 2 variations of the simple Why Us category of questions. Here are some common mistakes. Writing about the school's size, location, reputation, weather, or ranking. Misusing names of teams, mascots, representative figures, parroting the brochures or website language, and thinking of this as only a why them essay. Our biggest tip is to do your research. Always connect all the opportunities you talk about at the school back to yourself and why it's important to you, and be very specific. Now, let's look at the second category of supplemental essays. The Why Major question. The aim of this essay is to reflect on why you are interested in your selected major or field of interest. Show how you've expressed interest in high school or how you plan on engaging at their school within this particular area. An example question from Columbia University is, please tell us what from your current and past experiences attracts you specifically to the areas of study that you noted in the application. We have linked a sample answer from a student named Josh in the description below. As you're reading, think about what does the writer do well, what could they do better, and what can you learn about the writer from the supplemental essay. Next, we have the extracurricular essay, which is an essay most of your schools may ask you to write. This essay prompt allows you to show schools how you might contribute to their campus outside of the classroom. This question gives you an opportunity to talk in detail about one of your most meaningful extracurricular activities, since the Common App restricts the amount you can write in the activities list. Here are some example questions that outline the various ways schools may ask you to write about a meaningful extracurricular activity. Harvard University asks, please elaborate on one of your extracurricular activities or work experiences, which is very straightforward. And the University of Florida asks, please provide more details on your most meaningful commitment outside of the classroom while in high school and explain why it was meaningful. Here are some possible topics for this question. An activity in which you held an active leadership role, an activity you were really committed to in terms of time and involvement, an activity which is meaningful, for example, one that reflects your heritage or challenge you or a family member faced, an activity that relates to your future goals, and an activity that is meaningful to you but you were not able to share in another part of your application. Our tips are to show and don't tell what you did, quantify and highlight the impact you've made, and connect it back to yourself. Another category of supplemental essays is what we call the community essay. Schools are interested in creating an inclusive and diverse community. These sorts of prompts allow you to talk about your own unique experiences based on your identity. Especially in light of the recent overturning of affirmative action, schools may rephrase these prompts and add a space where you can talk about your background and how it has impacted you. So the aim of the community essay is to show how you can contribute to the college's diverse and inclusive environment. How might you go about doing that? Describe your own experiences with the particular community and refer back to how you might implement it at their college. An example question from Umish is, everyone belongs to different communities and/or groups defined by shared geography, religion, ethnicity, income, cuisine, interest, race, ideology, or intellectual heritage. Choose one of the communities to which you belong and describe that community and your place within it. A common misconception is that a community essay is asking you to talk about community service. While your community service may be tied to your identity and background, this type of prompt is not asking you to speak only about your community service activities. Instead, shift the focus on your identity and how it has influenced your experiences tied to that community and how your experiences will add to a particular college's environment. Our fifth category is the intellectual essay, which allows you to display your intellectual thinking process and how you share knowledge with others. Schools may also want to see how you think academically and what your specific interests and passions are. Here's an example from the University of Washington. Tell us about something that really sparks your intellectual curiosity and compels you to explore more. It could be an idea, book, project, cultural activity, work of art, startup, music, movie, research, innovation, question, or other pursuit. When answering this question, be honest to your interests and passions. Whether you are really into true crime, can spend hours in an art museum, or love going down the rabbit hole of strange scientific questions or discoveries, discuss why you love spending your time pursuing this activity and how you hope to continue engaging in it in college. Our biggest tip is to be unique. Here are some guiding questions. What are some hobbies and passions you've taken on recently? How do you go about doing a certain activity? For example, describe your thoughts while playing video games. How can you show off your personality? Remember, every person has their own way of processing things, and this is the way you can highlight it. Don't be scared to experiment with your writing style as well. Finally, we have the quirky, imaginative essay group. While not many schools ask questions that fall into this category, those that do want to see your creative sides. Show off your personality by being unequivocally yourself. Use that to come up with distinct ideas. Here's an example from the University of Chicago. Cats have 9 lives, Pac-Man has 3 lives, and radioactive isotopes have half-lives. How many lives does something else, conceptual or actual, have, and why? Now that we have discovered the base categories of supplemental essay questions, let's talk about how you can approach the writing process. Our first approach is the narrative approach. What is the narrative approach? It's conceptualizing an idea or an individual through a story. What does it work well for? Extracurricular essays about overcoming a challenge, essays about volunteering or community service, essays dealing with social issues such as, what's one problem you would like to solve? Here are the steps to the narrative approach. Step 1. Identify the problem. Describe the challenge you were or are currently facing. The problem could be something global, like an environmental issue, or something more local, like a lack of creative opportunities in your high school. Step 2. Raise the stakes. Help us understand. Why was or is overcoming this challenge important? What might happen if this problem went or goes unchecked? Step 3. Describe what you did. Tell us the specific things you and your team did to solve the problem. Step 4. Clarify your role. Describe your particular involvement. Why were or are you crucial to this project or club's success? And step 5. Share the impact you had, lessons you learned, or the values you gained. Provide specific examples that give us a sense that your work mattered. You can brainstorm ideas with the BEABIES exercise, which is a brainstorming exercise that can take 10 to 15 minutes to provide all the content you will need for your essay. You can spend more time and have more content. Here's an example of the BEABIES chart. You can see that organizing the information in the following way provides not only content, but also a potential structure. The main categories in the columns are what I did, problems I solved, lessons learned, skills gained, impact I had, and how I applied what I learned. If you are able to write down ideas and thoughts for each of these columns, you will have a great structure for writing your supplemental essay. The second approach you can take is the montage approach, which may be less intuitive for students. This is also known as the uncommon connections exercise. What is it? It's using separate elements to create a cohesive essay. And what does it work well for? It can help you stand out to colleges, especially if you don't have an uncommon topic. Here's a pro tip. Having a cliché topic doesn't need a cliché essay. Find the uncommon connections. Let's look at an example. Here are steps to an uncommon essay. First, pick your cliché topic, let's say football. Step number 1, brainstorm the content for your essay. Here's some cliché values. Teamwork. Step number 2, come up with 3 to 4 uncommon values. For example, resourcefulness, critical thinking, and boundaries. Step 3, tie the value to a specific example from your life. For example, football making you a better reader. And step 4, decide the structure of your essay and write the draft. Here's an example. As a quarterback, I meticulously and systematically scan the offense, looking for nuances in the formation before the quarterback snaps the ball, all in a matter of seconds. It's not unlike annotating a novel. Finding the subtle complexities in my rival team's spread offense has not only led me to intercepting a pass, but has given me the skills to fully digest difficult readings, where the smallest and at first glance almost unnoticeable details add to an intricate story that I wouldn't appreciate in the same way had I not been able to notice those details in the first place. Think about what the writer did well in this case, and how might you draw lessons from this writing? Our final tip to you is to pre-write your supplementary essays. Doing this will save you a lot of time in the fall, as you can adapt each type of essay to the unique prompts given to you by each of your schools. You can create a spreadsheet of all the supplementary essay questions for each school you're applying to, categorize them into one of the 6 categories we have, and write template essays for the categories they fall into. If it helps, use one of the essay questions in each category to draft an essay, and direct your thought process, and then adapt that essay to the other questions in the category. Here are our biggest takeaways from today's lesson. Brainstorm possible essay topics for each type of prompt, do the BEABIES exercise to identify key points, and finally, be your authentic self. We hope this video was helpful in making sense of the plethora of essay questions you will encounter in the college application process, and how you can give your best answer to these college-specific questions. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you